Good morning, this is KELOLAND On the Go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your day.
A motorcyclist is dead after crashing into a semi-truck early Sunday morning. According to the Department of Public Safety, a 39-year-old man was driving a motorcycle in Sioux Falls on Interstate 29 near the 26th Street exit around 1:30 a.m.
The semi-truck in front of him slowed down to take the exit. That's when the motorcyclist hit the back of the semi and died. Officials say he was not wearing a helmet.
We now know the name of the woman who died in a car crash near Sturgis Wednesday.
80-year-old Lynn Gray was trying to turn left in front of a truck traveling the opposite direction while driving an ATV when she was hit. Officials say she was thrown from the ATV and died from her injuries.
The Sioux Falls Police Department say they've located the person they were looking for in connection with what they're calling suspicious activity over the weekend at Lincoln High School.
Police aren't giving any details about Saturday morning's incident, but they're thanking members of the public for their assistance.
We expect to learn more about what happened during this morning's police briefing, which will carry live on KELOLAND.com beginning at 10:30. Now let's get a check of our weather with meteorologist Scott Munt. A cool start to the work week, Scott.
It is. We've had some areas in the 30s for temperatures this morning, but we will warm. Afternoon highs in the 70s, low 80s in central and south central South Dakota. Chance for rain later this evening into tonight. And Brian will have more details on that coming up.
Thanks, Scott. So far, the emerald ash borer has been confined to extreme eastern South Dakota, along with the Sioux Falls and Brookings areas.
But other communities in the state, like Huron, are preparing because they know the invasive species can't be stopped. The ash borer is usually spread through firewood being transported from one community to the next.
Like many communities, Huron is working on a plan to remove unwanted ash trees before the insect arrives.
To try to decrease the population as much as we can afford, or as much as our budget allows, between now and when the board gets here, which is estimated within 5 years.
Huron has an estimated 2,100 ash trees on city property and close to that number on private property.
An award-winning quilt maker has recently opened up shop in Rapid City. Bonnie LeBeau Quilts specializes in authentic Native American star quilts.
This started out close to 30 years ago when she was just helping her grandmother.
We drove from Eagle Butte to Rapid City to have the quilts quilted, so a few times I would drive her and we would drop quilts off, pick quilts up, and do that type of thing. And we kind of just thought, oh wow, we could probably do this ourselves in Eagle Butte. So that's kind of how it started.
Bonnie LeBeau Quilts will have an official grand opening during this year's Black Hills Powwow later this fall. She takes orders in her store as well as online through social media.
The 12 runners with the 437 project have completed their journey across the state. They were welcomed by a few hundred supporters at the Levitt in Sioux Falls yesterday.
The runners helped raise a little over $315,000, and they created more awareness for those affected by suicide.
I think it's making a huge difference, and I think it's going to continue to make a huge difference because it's getting people to normalize the conversation around suicide and suicide prevention. And I think it's something that we maybe shy away from talking about sometimes, but this is opening people up to the topic and just the idea of knowing that there's resources out there.
KELOLAND's Dan Santella was one of the 12 runners who crossed South Dakota. He's preparing a recap that will air in about a week and a half. That's a look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get one last look at your weather with meteorologist Brian Karstens. Brian?
All right, our weather forecast today, looking at those temperatures climbing into the 70s after a crisp and cool start this morning. We've seen some 30s actually for temperatures just outside city limits around Sioux Falls, for example. But midday temperatures mid-60s, Brookings, Sioux Falls, Mitchell area 67. I expect we'll probably hold, though, closer to 70 today in southwest Minnesota. Then on radar tonight, there is a pressing cold front coming in that may trigger a few widely scattered showers. If they do develop, it looks like Aberdeen might actually have a little better chance of that. But Sioux Falls, after dark, it could rain a little bit, so keep that in mind here toward midnight or thereafter. A lot of that should move east of us by daybreak tomorrow morning. So with a northwest breeze, We'll expect highs primarily into the 70s tomorrow, and a lot of sunshine will return, and it looks like that's the way it's going to stay here for a while. High pressure in the upper atmosphere builds on in. That's going to amplify our temperatures back to above normal, and it also steers the storm track away from us. You can see the jet stream goes all the way up into Canada, then it comes back down into the Great Lakes, and this is a classic pattern in the fall season to being drier, and we've been on that track now for a while. We'll see what the tropics do. There's some rumblings about tropical system going into Florida later in the week. If that happens, there could be some disturbed weather to our southeast. The biggest effect of that would be probably to stall the patterns here. So again, we're not in any hurry to putting in any rain in the forecast on a widespread scale. 75 today in Mitchell in your forecast. Temperatures 82 in winter, 82 degrees in Valentine. The 7-day forecast, upper 70s to low 80s at the end of the work week. Normal highs are about 74, so we are trending above the averages. Aberdeen in the Northeast will also be back close to 80 by Thursday. I wouldn't be surprised if a couple of these days end up being a little warmer than that. Lows also returning mainly to the 50s. Here in central South Dakota, after a brief cool down, we're not going to stay cool. I think we're back in the mid-80s by Thursday. I think 80s are really likely in central South Dakota. We may even start expanding the threshold of the 90s. We put one day at least at 90 in Rapid City on Thursday. Keep an eye on that, too, because fire dangers will go back up. Check out more details online at KELOLAND.com.